Hey, what's up, OG fam? So today I have a super special video. Um, this is a horrible setup, but I'm going to show you it the best that I can. We have a new patch coming out. In this new patch, oh my god, I gotta show off the tries. I ain't trying. In this new patch, you no longer need to deploy all of your heroes in order to get the stats of your heroes in the battlefield. If you have a champion that you are not using, say Rufio. Instead of running like a Titanic Axe on Rufio, if you're not even going to deploy him, you're better off using a stat item. Just something that gives him massive amounts of stats. So we're going to look at and do a little bit of math to figure out what type of items to shoot for. Important to note, all of these things are based off of flawless items. Strictly flawless. The reason for that is there's no variables with flawless items. Flawless items have a set amount that they get as far as stats. If it is not flawless, then it can vary. Now I'm going to move back, that way I'm not looking like a hermit this whole time and I'll like hunch over, like ah. So let's go over it. Over here, wait, do I need to? Professor time. Over here, these are our main stat things. We're going to talk about the Soul Blade, the Hand of Wisdom, the Firebrand, and the Pummeler. Those are the biggest stat boosting things out there. And the reason why I'm going with these is because in total with the new hero, we'll have 26 heroes. As far as accessory spots, I put down 50. It's a little bit of it helps with the math. I just go with 50. Gazul only has one usable accessory spot, and you'll probably use one accessory spot for something that has nothing to do with this anyways, a minimum of one. Like for example, if you play Avalon, you're not going to go with a Hand of Wisdom or anything like that if you're playing human. If you're running as Gafgar for dwarves, you'll probably want Golden Visage anyway, so these are just rough estimates. When it comes to weapon spots, it comes out to be about 24 for weapons. Staffs are not included. This is strictly an example to get your mind going. So we're going to pretty much do 50 accessories, 24 weapons. For easy math sake, we'll say that every hero on average gets one weapon and two accessories, just to make the math equal for the rest of this. But before we get to this, the good stuff, we need to look at what we're playing around with. So we're going to start off with Soul Blades. In the red is every stat that benefits might. So a Soul Blade gives 19 might when it's flawless and 6 stamina. I put the line through the S to represent stamina in blue because my S's look like 5s. So a Soul Blade does not give 65 stamina, it only gives 6. So that's why I turned them into dollar signs. It just works. So in total, let me go grab a pen. So in total, the Soul Blade gives 25 useful stats. And what I mean by useful stats is might and stamina. Command and magic are important, but the main things you want to win is might and stamina for PvP. So a Soul Blade gives 25 useful stats. Hand of Wisdom will give you 11 stamina and 20 random stats. That's between magic and command. So a Soul Blade ultimately gives you 11 useful stats. Both the Firebrand will give you 29, and a Pummeler will also give you 29. So that being said, what should we craft and what should we focus on with crafting when it comes to maxing out all of our stats? It's a really good question. Just from taking a peek at this, the difference between a Soul Blade and a Hand of Wisdom when it comes to stats for PvP is 5. But if you go with the Soul Blade, you get 19 might, which is useful, versus picking up 20 random stats for the Hand of Wisdom, which to me really don't matter. Sure, it's not bad winning in command or winning in magic, but I'd rather win in might and stamina straight up. So what's interesting to note, probably the biggest variable, and the reason why I picked these two items is the Firebrand and the Pummeler. They both give 29 useful stats. The reason why I picked them is they're on the extremes. So the Firebrand gives the most amount of might. It gives 26 might, 3 stamina. It's extreme on the might end. The Pummeler gives 5 might and 24 stamina. I wonder if if I move this, if the lighting gets better. You guys see that better? If not, just listen to my wonderful voice. So they each give 29 useful stats, one in one extreme for might, the other in another extreme for stamina. This plays a role into everything, and I'll show you what I mean right now, because when we do out the averages for everything, assuming we're doing averages, it comes out to be about 1 weapon per hero and 2 accessories per hero. What that means is each hero can load up with whatever combination. Yes, of course, there's going to be different items that you'll want for specific heroes. I get that. This is just a general concept. Take from it what you want. If you want to figure out what flawless items you want to craft, this is what you want to pay attention to. So if we run with the Firebrand and 2 Hand of Wisdoms, in total, we'll get 26 might, 25 stamina. That will give us a total of 51 useful stats. No, not bad, and that's pretty even. That's pretty even between might and stamina. They're within 1. That you can't get any more even. If you run with the Firebrand, a Hand of Wisdom, and a Soul Blade, you get 45 might, and your stamina drops to 20. However, your total useful stats jumps up. Let's see if I can bring this closer so that you guys can pick it up and see it easier. Yeah, the green really messes with it. You get 65 total useful stats. If we go with a Firebrand and 2 Soul of Wisdom, so we're going with everything that benefits might the most. If that's what we're running with, we get 64 might, 15 stamina, and 79 total useful stats. So that is all the combinations with the accessories with the extreme might weapon. So you can see the different might values down to 3. You can see the different stamina, and you can see the total quote-unquote useful stats. I think it's no-brainer. The Soul Blade is the superior accessory, but what about the weapon? If we go with a Pummeler and 2 Hand of Wisdoms, we get a measly +5 might, but we do get 46 stamina. That's a lot of stamina. If we go with a Pummeler, a Soul Blade, and a Hand of Wisdom, so 1 of everything, but under the stamina one, then we get 24 might, 41 stamina, and 65 total useful stats. If we go with a Pummeler, which is the stamina weapon, and 2 Soul Blades, we get 43 might and 36 stamina for a total of 79 total useful points. So it doesn't matter if you run with 2 Soul Blades and you go with either the might weapon, the Firebrand, or the Pummeler. No matter what, you're going to end up with 79 useful points. There's a difference between these two, and that big difference is in one of them with the Firebrand, you get a total of 15 stamina, which is not much. That's like 1 flawless Everflame lamp of a difference versus 36 stamina and 43 might. So with the Firebrand, you're going to get way more might. With the Pummeler, your stats are actually going to be much more balanced. It will be within 6 points. So which one do you choose? That's up to you. Let's pull it back. If you want to win on might, strictly might, then going with the Firebrand and 2 Soul Blades is for you. If you're playing Rockin', you plan on playing Rockin' forever, you really want to win might as Rockin'. So maybe the Firebrand and 2 Soul Blades, that should be your focus. The Pummeler and 2 Soul Blades is what I personally go for right now. I need 2 more Soul Blades and I'm completely done with accessories. I need 3 more Pummelers and I'm completely done with weapons, which is awesome. So, and I mean flawless for those. Then I'll be done with all those flawless ones. Took forever, but you know, that's why we farm. So If you want more of a balance, go for the Pummeler and 2 Soul Blades. Um, they're good all around. The Pummeler just adds on a bunch of stamina. For accessories, it's way easier to get might on accessories. So to counterbalance that and get a balance in your stats, you might want to go heavy on the stamina for your weapons. What I mean by that is if you compare a Flawless Everflame Lamp, which is just a straight up might boost, versus a Flawless Bloody Arrowhead, the Bloody Arrowhead gives way more might. If you take that one Flawless Arrowhead, that alone gives 25 straight up to might. That's insane. So accessories really favor might. So what I do is I focus on the Pummeler for the stamina via weapons. Both of my might and stamina right now, before the new hero comes out and everything, are sitting in the 2300 area. So they're both in that realm. They're both above 2300. They're both below 2400. I still have a lot more crafting to do. So it's important to take from this and take from it what you want. It might help you out to think of things as far as useful stats and what's not useful. If you want to go Lich, and you want to depend on your spiders to do all of your damage, and you want to run Cleo and Avril and everything else, then maybe magic is your useful stat. You're fine giving up might because your scorpions will tank everything, and you want to win magic. That would be considered your useful stat. So whatever you pick for your useful stats, I pick 2 out of 4. If you pick 2 out of 4 and then you prioritize one and have the other one as secondary, I think that's a really smart way of going. It's very hard to win all 4. If you win all 4, you're probably just going to blow your opponent out of the water because it just means that you're that much further in the game. For me, my number 1 priority is stamina. Stamina is probably the tougher of the stat to get. So I put stamina first and might second. That way, it's very easy to get more might. It's harder to get more stamina. So takeaways from this video: if you want the maximum amount of useful stats, then you want to run with 2 Soul Blades for your accessories and either a Firebrand weapon or a Pummeler. And depending on your pick, each one of these setups, 2 accessories, 1 weapon, average out between all of your heroes, will give you 79 useful stats per hero between those 2. It's also important to note there's many weapons. There's a few other weapons that give. There's a few other weapons that actually do give the 29 total useful stats. Ones like that. It looks like a fist weapon. It's blue. It's got zigzags through it and stuff like that. Forget what it's called, but there are other weapons beyond the Firebrand and the Pummeler. I picked these 2 because they're the extremes. They're the outliers. They're the exceptions. They are the extremes on when it comes to might and when it comes to stamina. There's other weapons that will give 29 useful stats, meaning their stats between might and stamina add up together to equal 29. They tend to be more split between might and stamina and more of a balance in that individual weapon. So for me personally, Pummeler and 2 Soul Blades, it gives me the best balance overall. When it comes to other accessories, if you have flawless stuff that can equal a minimum of 11 useful stats, or if you get up to 25. And if it equals more than 11, it should mostly be in stamina. So what I mean by that is, if you're really trying to jack your stamina up, then you might want to go with a couple, not every hero, but a couple Everflame lamps, especially if they're flawless. That will help get your stamina up. You can substitute a Soulless Blade if you have the Bloody Arrowhead. I know I run one on Mako just because it's awesome. So this is not every single hero, but it's just something to take into consideration and be aware of when you're figuring out what stats and what items to craft when it comes to creating flawless weapons or accessories. I would do all of the gear, but most of the gear sets, you see that the dragon set or the normal set, get the flawlesses. When it comes to that, when it comes to your headgear, your armor, and your whatever the other one is, when it comes to those, if you're deploying the hero and the hero gets a good benefit from the dragon set, for example, running one sage on the battlefield with the sage set from the dragon drop, that is useful. Do that no matter what. Sacrifice those stat points and get that sage set out. If you're running with two sages, have one with the sage set and have one with the flawless one that you can craft. You see what I'm saying? If a hero is on the sideline, meaning they're not on the battlefield, but their stats are going to contribute to the battlefield, put all the stat boosting gear on them. You don't need those items that are good for certain situations when they're deployed. So for example, I'm not going to run with a Tectonic Axes. I don't need them. I can go with a Pummeler, get way more stats if I'm not deploying the hero. If I am deploying the hero, you want that hero to be useful. Now with the changes with the patch, the heroes, if they are deployed, they're going to have to be just as good, if not better, than the troop space that they would normally take up. So if I'm just putting out Rufio with Warwicks, with Rose, and they're just kind of geared all over, they better outperform 2 units of Hunchesses. They better be able to do that, otherwise why am I deploying them? They should be able to do more damage than a pack of human archers. They should be able to be more useful than one pack of blade runners. You see what I'm saying? Every tile on the battlefield matters. If the hero does not need to be out there with this new patch, or does not give a direct bonus, or is not a super amazing tank, then it should not be deployed. It should be on the sideline, figure out what's going to give you the stats that you need and or want, go farm some towers, get some honor, go watch my honor video to figure out how to get the honor, and get the items that you need to win stats for PvP. You win stats, you win PvP. This will just get your mind going a little bit with how to gear everything up. If you don't want to do math, you don't want to do time, spend the time figuring it out, you're a casual gamer that's stuck around for like 20 minutes in this video, pretty much the most unprofessional video of all time, rep, then just go with Pummeler and 2 Soul Blades. If you want the cheat sheet. Otherwise, if you want to run something specific or you have your thoughts and ideas, don't take my word for it. This is stuff that I did to figure it out for me, so that I could wrap my head around it. Take from this and apply it to your game, your experience. Maybe you're on a new server and having all flawless items is something that you're not going to have for a few months unless you farm really crazy, and it's still going to take you a long time. Maybe do up this whole thing without the flawless items. Granted, there's a lot more variables, but take the concept and apply it to your gameplay, and I'm sure that you'll see some level of benefit from it. So with that, guys, sorry for the long video. Sorry I got rambling at certain times and kind of fast-paced, but I hope you got something out of it. It's useful to visualize and see the stats. The lighting is probably horrible, so you can't see much. Definitely can't see it that way. But yeah, subscribe to the channel. On May 8th, the Lunari giveaway is over. On that same day, I'll be releasing an update with, I'll release a video on Wednesday to cover everything with the new patch. This is preemptive for the patch to figure out what we need to craft for flawless items. If you stuck around long enough, I'll also tell you this. You can't tell anybody. So if somebody exited out of this video earlier, and you see them in game, shh, this is our secret. Craft your accessories first. Craft your accessories first. Do your soul blades before you worry about the pummelers or the firebrands, or whatever the weapon is that you choose between these. By doing the soul blades, they cost half as much alchemy stones as the weapons. They're 4,000 compared to 8,000. So you realistically are going to get twice as many flawlesses, and the unflawless versions of all of them are a few sats short. But if you can have twice as many, that's going to make up the difference. That will get you a little bit further ahead than doing the weapons first. They are all beneficial, but I would do the accessories first personally, and then focus on the weapons. But with that, guys, have a great day. Subscribe to the channel and take care.